Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning and it's going to be a busy week in the true crime world, at least in the cases that I'm covering. There's likely to be a press conference according to Chief Huff on either the 30th of November or the 1st of December. So that's Wednesday or Thursday of this week in relation to the Michael Vaughan case. We may find out DNA results to see whether the little baby found in the landfill there in Savannah, Georgia is in fact Quinton Simon. I think it is, but we need that confirmation. Jared Lysek is in court on the 30th. On Thursday, 1st of December, my new mini-series starts over on my other channel, Michelle Walks. It's called Cold Case Christmas. Every day from the 1st of December till the 24th of December, like opening an advent calendar, I'm going to be covering a different cold case every single day. So videos will go out at 6 p.m. UK time every day from the 1st to the 24th of December. Different cold case every day. So please do follow that series if you're interested in a wider range of cases than I cover on this channel. Subscribe over there if you haven't done already. Okay, so for today we are staying with the Idaho 4 murders, and let's start off with an update from the City of Moscow Police Department, which was posted yesterday. Community members have uploaded over 488 digital media submissions to the FBI link. We understand there is a sense of fear within our community. I'm not surprised. Since November 13th, the department has received 78 calls for unusual circumstances and 36 requests to check the welfare of loved ones, an increase from 70 and 18 respectively for all of October. As officers respond to these incidents, they find that concerned parties call friends and family before notifying the police. For life, safety and emergency, we want to remind our community to call 911 before notifying family or friends. And then there's the non-emergency number there as well. The tip line's there. At this time, no suspect has been identified and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. There is speculation without factual backing, stoking community fears and spreading false facts. We encourage referencing official releases for accurate information and updated progress. Obviously, I can understand the community concerns, but I can also understand the police not giving very much away. And Kaylee's family have been out in the media this weekend saying that they've not been told anything since Wednesday. That's not unusual, guys. It's not. This is a very complex investigation. So they don't want to tell anybody anything at all. Even if it's to families, they can't. It will compromise the integrity of the investigation. Now, something that I'm really stuck on, is the fact that there's potentially one target out of the 4 that were murdered. If you're targeting 1, why murder 4? I'm stuck on that. I really am. And it seems to have come from Kaylee's family that there was only one target amongst the 4 victims. So this was a few days ago. In a televised interview, Kaylee's father, Steve, reportedly told CNN that he had been informed that there was only one target amongst the 4 victims. Separately, he told Fox News last week that the attacker had been sloppy and left behind an abundance of evidence. Well, we do know that the latter's true. Police said that they'd taken 113 pieces of evidence from the scene. So amongst that, I'm quite sure there's DNA, there's hair. I'm quite sure that the attacker has left prints, fingerprints, footprints, a whole caboodle of things that are important forensically. You can't knife attack to death, so bloody a scene of 4 people and not leave behind a trail. That's why using a knife in this kind of killing is very unusual. But Aaron Snail, who's the communications director for the Idaho State Police, was asked to respond to the thing that Steve Gonsalves said regarding that there was only one target amongst the 4. And he said, the family members, what they say is up to them. The information we try to release is to the best of our ability, vetted, accurate and correct, and as well to protect the integrity of the investigation. So he's neither confirming nor denying that there was one target amongst the four. And they've said it's targeted, but not told us why. Actually, they kind of have. This was from November 26, so 2 days ago. Police have kept quiet about crime scene specifics to protect the integrity of their ongoing investigation. However, on Friday, investigators clarified some of their reasoning in an interview with Fox News Digital. This is Aaron Snail again. When the chief said that the slayings were targeted, and investigators still believe that now, it didn't appear that there was any forced entry into the residence. There were survivors of this. And then as well, based on the evidence internally at the scene, it has led detectives to believe and continue to believe this was a targeted event. So there's three things there. So are these the three things that they're using to denote this being a targeted event? So no forced entry. So it clearly is somebody who knows that house. They either know the door code to get in, or they know that one of the backsliding doors is left open, or a window. They could have got through a window. So there's no forced entry. Somebody who's been scoping out the house. So the house was targeted. Potentially 5 young women inside, potentially ease of access. There were survivors. Well, we don't know whether the survivors were intentionally spared or whether the attacker, as I keep saying, just didn't realise that there were other people in the house. So I'm not sure that that's evidence that this was targeted towards one person or towards the 4 that were murdered, but yet not the 2 that survived, that were just left alone. And then, based on the evidence internally at the scene, now that is interesting, very interesting. What would that evidence be? Would that be, I don't know, daubing messages on the walls in blood? I mean, you know, you're looking at potentially a horror movie scene, aren't you? What could that be? That, amongst the 3 things that Aaron Snail said there, is the one that's the most important, I believe, because there's numerous reasons why there's no forced entry. The attacker could be a complete stranger to them, but have been scoping out that house for a while, maybe scoping out a number of houses, like knowing this was a student area and knowing that this was a party house and knowing that it was actually quite easy to get in. And then the survivors, I don't necessarily think that that denotes targeting towards specific individuals. The evidence at the scene, that is interesting. You know, we've probably all seen this footage by now of the Grub Truck and Kaylee and Maddie there at the Grub Truck. And we know that Hoodie Guy, so Hoodie Guy is the one at the back there who's circled, he's been cleared. Now, there's people who've been trying to find out the IDs of all of these other guys who were there. You know, this guy with the beard, the guy with the cap on. Do you know what? I don't know whether someone from the Grub Truck followed them home. I just don't. Why don't I think that? Well, I think the house has got a lot to do with it. There's been some really interesting footage coming out from various news channels of reporters who've been watching that scene unfold as the forensic people are there. And Chris McDonough from the interview room put out a really interesting video yesterday evening, my time. I want to just show you a little clip of this. So the link to this video is in the description box. It's well worth a watch. It's well worth a watch. Okay, so this is the front of the house here, and then you see the car park, and it goes up quite a hill. And then this hill here, which Chris walks up, that takes you to the back of the property. And just look, right? You know, you can drive up there. There is a car park up there, but just look, it doesn't matter really where you park. It doesn't matter whether you park on one of these streets. How easy would it be, whether you come from the front or whether you come from the back, to slip down this little embankment here. Chris stops and talks for a while about crime scene tape. So let's just move us on. Okay, we're moving again. Look at that. Look at that. So there's the front. And it's so easy just to get around the back here. And then there's tree coverage. There's more tree coverage to the back. I mean, look. You could be hiding in these trees. You could have been hiding in those trees for weeks. And nobody knew. Chris said that it's really dark at night. You could have been watching and waiting for an opportunity. Like I said, you could have been scoping out more than one house. But a house with 4 young women in it, I don't know. I think that's a target in itself. So this is the car park at the back. So there's a car park at the front and a car park at the back. Let's just move us on a little bit. So this is the scene from the car park onto the apartments there. Now, it's not that, even though there's a lot of coverage, it's not that private, honestly. I can easily see how you would be lulled into a false sense of security. So this is the car park looking down at the house. And somebody could have been watching, waiting in the car, hiding out. No one would have known they were there. You know, Chris said it was really dark at night there. And there's a lot of tree coverage. And you can look down on that house. And it could be possible that the attacker didn't actually know any of them. Didn't know any of them. Not well. And they didn't know him. And he's been able to work out who sleeps where. If he cared who slept where. Because he can watch the house. Look at that. He could sit on that bank in there. In that tree. Up those trees there. You've got Kaylee and Maddie's bedroom windows there. You've got the kitchen window there. Xana's bedroom window is round the front. But if you were, let's say, there was one target and you were targeting either Maddie or Kaylee, well, you know they're going to be in one of these bedrooms. So why did they take out Xana and Ethan? Ethan wasn't meant to be there. Xana maybe overheard and put up a fight. We don't know. We don't know the order in which they were killed. Just by the fact that the attacker had to go upstairs to Kaylee and Maddie leads me to believe potentially if there was one target, it's one of them. You know, if it was Xana or even Ethan. You know, let's say somebody had followed them back from that frat party. Well, they could have just killed Ethan and Xana and then gone. But I don't know. I don't know whether this was targeted against one person. I'm stuck on that. I really am. But so easy to watch this house. Watch them let the dog out. Watch them take the dog in. That's the concrete patio area. That's their yard. You could be sitting there for weeks. You could have been sitting there literally for weeks. They wouldn't have known down there. Honestly. It's the perfect house to stake out, to lie in wait, to hunt these young women. And Chris says on these houses, there's no visible cameras, there's very little lighting. It's perfect. If a killer wanted to play out a fantasy, like a Ted Bundy style fantasy, that's the perfect house, in my opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Michelle. Hope you're well. I'll see you in the next video. It's goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. Bye, guys.